Hello, everybody. Thanks for having me. Today, I'm going to speak on from my personal opinion on this. And based on my experience it's going to be about 20 years now since I've been practicing in the UK and in architecture and urban design, that's my background. And now I have been heavily involved in developing the design quality framework for Nottingham, which would be the system that is similar to what the government is proposing local authorities they should do with the model design codes. So I'm quite familiar. I've been working closely with the Ministry of Housing, Communities and Local Government on developing this. So I'm quite familiar with where things are going. So I'm entirely going to talk about my views. And I wanted to start by saying that I interpret this move as a very radical change in planning system. Actually, it's very funny, when I told my father, I'm from Argentina, and when I told him, oh, I'm an architect, yeah, I'm going to go to England now. Why? He went, and I said, because I want to change things and I want to work in the planning system. And he said, you must be mad, because there isn't anything more complex than that. I like a challenge. So I moved to England and I did it. So I think the objectives of this massive move are to do with delivering a more efficient and less resource hungry planning system that moves planning applications faster, because we need to build more and build fast for economic reasons, for housing crisis reasons. I think there is an ideal of automatization, moving towards a more digital era where everything is more reliant on artificial intelligence. There is also a big desire to remove risks so that developers are more confident to invest, and removing risks from two big angles. One of those is trying to remove opposition, particularly with housing developments, and especially there has been quite a lot of community opposition in releasing greenbelt land and in areas that are recreation, etc., green areas. So they want to sort of moderate that, and they want to give developers more confidence and certainty in that whatever financial budgets they work out at the beginning of the process are not going to be changing over the process of the planning. So I think that's where they're coming from. So efficiency, speed, automatization, and removal of risks. All of that, in theory, is going to reactivate the economy by building. And I think there are some good points about having this review, and some issues or potential issues that might emerge as a result of implementing this. And I'm more worried about the implementation than the theory behind this. I think the idea of having emphasis on design quality and looking at starting to talk again about aesthetics and beauty as something that matters is really quite important, is how we deliver that. And it's quite good that we're starting to have these dialogues, and we're now talking in events like this about it. It has been something dormant for a while. Design appraisals, how are we going to appraise design? What are the criteria that are going to enable us to have that design freedom and creativity and innovation without sort of stopping us from being creative, but having that threshold of quality? How do we manage that? And it's a good dialogue. Another thing that I'm very, very interested in is how the planning system will have to adapt and implement new processes, and how that is going to rebalance the powers within the system to deliver places. I'm interested in the role of communities and how we start to think about them in being more relevant and coming up front in the process and being part of the process, having a lot more emphasis on social aspects of place that will definitely emerge, because if we're involving more people in the process, some issues that perhaps through professional practice have not been so relevant up until now are going to start becoming more relevant, and that's a good thing. But I see massive issues in the process of delivering all this, particularly to do with skills and capacity and resources, mainly in authorities, but also in industry. Sitting at the planning on the other side I have practiced as an architect for ages, for many, many years, but now I'm sitting on the planning department and I see submissions that come in, and industry still needs to sharpen their pencils. And we are receiving really poor quality schemes, and it takes a massive amount of time to push that quality threshold. So yeah, skills in authority, industry, communities as well, because if communities are going to start being part of the dialogue, they will need tools and resources to become, because we saw what happened with neighborhood plans. Only those that had the skills and the resources and the capacity managed to put neighborhood plans in place. How is this going to be something that will enable everybody to participate and engage equally? So that's interests me. Also, the variety of different processes that might emerge, because of course this is all to do with giving local authorities more power and letting them manage the planning processes in a way that suits their authority, and that is right. However, I think there might be complications along the way or at the end, because different authorities with different resources and different political ideas and different demographies will have different planning systems. And we will see even more complications for practitioners. Wherever they're going to build, there's going to be something else. So a million different English planning systems. I think the role of central government in regulating this and auditing, but also supporting authorities to ensure that there is a level playing field and there is the delivery of this is balanced, is worrying me, and it's something that should be already strategically thought in depth. And I'm quite worried about the potential that this is going to result in larger inequalities across regions and across local authorities. That is all in all my review and the things I would like to talk about. Thank you.